Welcome back to Navigating the Streams. I'm Mike DeLong, and I've gathered all the new movies coming to your streaming services in one place so you don't have to. I've got everything coming out this month and a look back to see if I missed anything in November. Nearly every streaming services has something I've been waiting to see. Hopefully, there's something in here for you too. Also, more and more Christmas movies are coming. I don't cover them all, but they shouldn't be too hard to find. Without further ado, let's see what's new in December. First up is Netflix. On the 1st, All the Empty Rooms comes out. It's a documentary short where a reporter and a photographer go around documenting the empty rooms left by children who have died by gun violence in schools. On the 2nd, we have a comedy special from Matt Rife called Unwrapped, a Christmas crowdwork special. On the 3rd, we have a holiday rom-com coming out called My Secret Santa. A mom works as a Santa at a ski resort to pay for her daughter's ski lessons, but finds an unexpected chance for love, because they all do, don't they? On the 4th, I Wish You Had Told Me, a Filipino drama comes out. A missionary discovers his dead dad was in the closet and goes to Spain to meet his dad's secret lover. One of the biggest movies of the month comes out on the 5th. It's a dramedy called Jay Kelly with George Clooney, who plays a famous actor on a journey of self-discovery with his manager, played by Adam Sandler. There's a lot of Oscar buzz for both men. I'm going to check this one out. Are you? Also on the 5th, we have a South African rom-com coming out called Love and Wine. A rich man trades lives with his childhood friend. The musical version of the modern classic comedy Mean Girls also comes out on the 5th. And finally on the 5th, The New Yorker at 100, a documentary about the famous magazine. On the 9th, Masaka Kids, The Rhythm Within comes out. It's a documentary about Ugandan YouTube dancers telling about the struggles that they've endured. On the 11th, The Fake Napping comes out. It's a Saudi comedy with very little other information, so I'm not going to be checking this one out. A movie I've been waiting for all year comes out on the 12th, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Ryan Johnson directs another Benoit Blanc mystery, and I can't wait to see it. On the 17th, an action thriller called A Line of Fire comes out. An ex-FBI agent receives a call from his ex-partner's niece and is pulled back into the thick of it. Also on the 17th, Murder in Monaco. It's a documentary that digs into the mystery of the murder of a billionaire banker. On the 19th, A Time for Bravery comes out. It's a Mexican thriller where a psychoanalyst and an agent confront danger and discover second chances. Also on the 19th, there's a documentary discussing the movies that were released 50 years ago called Breakdown 1975. Finally, on the 19th, there's an action thriller called Relay coming out. Lily James plays a whistleblower who fears for her life and gets protection from Riz Ahmed, who breaks his own rules to get the job done. On the 22nd, there's a documentary about sports legend John Elway coming out called Elway. On the 24th, there's a drama called Goodbye June coming out. As June nears the end of her life, her fractured family must come back together, starring Kate Winslet and Toni Collette. On the 24th, we have a comedy special from Tom Segura called Teacher. And on the 26th, Cover Up, a documentary about the investigative reporter Seymour Hersh. On the 30th, we have a true crime documentary called Evil Influencer, the Jody Hillebrand story. And finally on the 30th, one last comedy special, this one from Ricky Gervais called Mortality. A couple things I missed in November: Wanted Man, an old man crime drama, Merry Christmas with the Lawrence brothers, and something that actually sounds interesting, Sangre del Toro, a documentary about the work of Guillermo del Toro. A few Netflix recommendations: A League of Their Own, which I would love to show my daughter if she would let me, Little Women, directed by Greta Gerwig, Pulp Fiction, Stripes, and The Northman. Next up is Hulu. On the 2nd, Griffin in the Summer comes out. A 14-year-old playwright's life is changed when he meets a handsome handyman. On the 5th, the thriller Inheritance comes out. A woman finds out that her dead father was a spy and gets wrapped up in an international conspiracy. On the 12th, Neighborhood Watch comes out. A mentally ill man gets help from his neighbor after the police don't believe him when he says he saw somebody being abducted. On the 12th, the action thriller Under Fire comes to Hulu. It was on a different service last month, but now, here it is on Hulu. On the 18th, American Sweatshop comes out. A woman with a chaotic personal life gets sucked into the underbelly of the internet. On the 19th, we have a comedy special from Kumail Nanjiani called Night Thoughts. On the 20th, we have an action comedy called London Calling coming out. A down-on-his-luck hitman must teach his new boss's son how to be a man. On the 26th, we have Finnick 2, an animated movie from Russia. Finnick loses his invincibility and puts all of his kind in jeopardy. On the 26th, The Life of Chuck comes out. It's a fantastical look at the life of Charles Krantz told in 3 chapters. It's about time this movie came to streaming. It ran the festivals last year and had tons of award buzz. Then had a horrible theatrical release like 6 months ago, and now it's finally coming to streaming. I'm going to check it out. Are you? On the 31st, an animated movie called The Grand Prix of Europe comes out. A young mouse drives the Grand Prix disguised as her hero. And finally, on the 31st, Together comes out. It's a horror movie where a couple in the crossroads of their relationship encounter an unnatural force. 2 recommendations from Hulu. One of my favorite Christmas movies, Gremlins, is coming out this month, along with Straight Outta Compton. HBOMax comes next. On the 1st, Song of My City comes out. It's a documentary short where a mythologized movie version of New York City is reconstructed. Also on the 1st, The Colors Within. It's an animated Japanese movie where a girl who can see colors in people's hearts joins a band. On the 4th, there's an Italian documentary called Architecton coming out. It's about the concrete and stone that make up our buildings. On the 5th, The Family McMullen comes out. It's a drama written and directed by Edward Burns, where a close-knit family navigates life's ups and downs, which kind of sounds like most of Edward Burns' movies. On the 11th, WizKid, Long Live Lagos comes out. It's a musical documentary about the rise of WizKid from Lagos, Nigeria to global stardom. But I've never heard of him. On the 12th, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues is coming out. The band is reuniting for one final concert after a 15-year break. Also on the 12th, Sarah Squirm, Live and in the Flesh. It's a comedy special from Saturday Night Live's Sarah Sherman. On the 18th, we have Counting Crows, Have You Seen Me Lately? It's a musical documentary about how the band handled instant global fame after their 90s debut. On the 22nd, Aztec Batman, Clash of Empires comes out. It's an adult animation where after a man is murdered by Spanish conquistadors, his son runs to tell the king and his high priest. And finally, on the 24th, Nunja 2 comes out. It's a huge animated movie from China where Nunja and Aobing's bodies have been destroyed, but to save their souls, the 7-colored lotus must be found. One recommendation I have from HBO Max is Key Largo because it is so hard to pass up Bogart and Bacall. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. Share it on your socials so your friends don't miss out on any new movies. Next up is Prime. On the 2nd, Oh What Fun, a holiday comedy comes out. A woman plans a special Christmas but is forgotten by her family. On the 5th, The Phoenician Scheme comes out. The Wes Anderson comedy that was on Peacock is now on Prime, but I think you can skip it. On the 10th, Merv comes out. It's a rom-com where a recently separated couple takes the dog they share custody of on a holiday vacation to cheer him up. On the 12th, Tell Me Softly, or Dímelo Bajito, comes out. It's a Spanish drama where a woman's life is turned upside down when 2 brothers from her past return after 7 years. On the 16th, Joker Folie à Deux comes out. It's a musical drama where Arthur Fleck meets the love of his life while incarcerated at Arkham Asylum. And finally, at the end of the month, we have 3 movies that are switching streaming services. On the 22nd, the Minecraft movie. On the 26th, Sinners. And on the 29th, The Naked Gun. Just a few recommendations on Prime. First, the 1990s movie Hackers, which I don't know, I just have this really soft spot in my heart for. Also, the Oscar winner Platoon, Bullet Train from a couple years ago, and a sci-fi movie that I loved, The Creator. Just a couple of things on Peacock this month. On the 4th, Dee Dee comes out. It's a teen drama where just before high school starts, A Taiwanese American boy learns to skate, flirt, and love his mom. I've heard really good things about this one, and I think I'll check it out. Then, on the 28th, Despicable Me 4 comes out. The latest from the thing that won't stop spawning sequels comes to Peacock. A few things that I missed on Peacock last month were Downton Abbey, the grand finale, Nobody 2, and The Bad Guys 2. I also have a couple of Peacock recommendations. 10 Cloverfield Lane is, I think, the best of the Cloverfield movies. The Creed trilogy, and another great Christmas movie, Die Hard. Paramount Plus is up next. On the 8th, we have Predators. No, not the Predator sequel. Predators, the documentary about To Catch a Predator. A few Paramount Plus recommendations include Alex Garland's Annihilation, Batman and Batman Returns, Father of the Bride from 1991, The Fighter, and Band-Aid, because I just love Zoe Lister-Jones. Disney Plus is bringing us Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw on the 5th. Greg tries to impress a girl at a talent show while his dad plans to send him to military school. Freakier Friday snuck under my radar, but you can find it now. And finally, we have Apple TV Plus. On the 5th, The First Snow of Fraggle Rock comes out. Gobo can't write his annual holiday song, which throws off all the traditions. I love the Fraggles. And finally, on the 12th, a movie I really enjoyed, F1 is coming out. Sonny is recruited to help a racing team succeed before the end of the season, or it will fold. That's all we have for this month. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this streaming video. The 12th is going to be a busy day for me with the Spinal Tap sequel and Wake Up Dead Man coming out. Which of these movies are you going to make time for during your holiday break? Let me know in the comments. My next video will be a year in review video, followed up by a review roundup of everything I watched in November. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.